like, I think a lot of people take it for granted that we know the Honus Wagner is the holy grail of vintage baseball cards. Like, I think those sort of things, those sort of niche, rare things with stories behind it, like about how rare they are, not everyone even knows that they exist yet. A specific example, Kimball, that I really want you to talk about right now is you've gone kind of deep into the US president world of collecting. And there's one holy grail US president card that I'm not sure everyone really knows about. I know that the people really in the know about it, but I think the general public, the general average collector of baseball and normal like sports cards won't know that there's this holy grail US president card out there. Can you tell us about that one?
So this card we're going to talk about, I definitely think it has had legs for over 2 decades. It's been valuable. It is such an important card, definitely the most valuable, most important non-sports card, rarest, and that's the 1932 Caramel Presidents, William McKinley. While McKinley doesn't seem like one of the biggest presidents ever, 1932 Caramel was a great set. A lot of people know for baseball stars. They had some golf players on it. They did a bunch of different types of stuff, but they did a presidential set that I'm actually working on completing right now. And it was a set of 31, and on the back of the card, it says, if you submit all 31 to the U.S. Caramel Company, we will return the package with like 2 pounds or 3 pounds of chocolate, just an absurd amount of chocolate. It's something that they couldn't afford based on the supply of cards they're putting out.
Yeah.
So they either made the McKinley, the 31st card, just the most random president, super short printed, or they never released it at all. I think there are 2 at PSA in all grades. I think there's 2 at SGC in all grades. And those are the only 4 that have surfaced. That card's been a 5-figure card, I think, for over 15 years now. It's, had a ton of legs for a long time. And, that type of scarcity, that type of story, robbing kids of their chocolate like that is, I think, what makes it. That's what makes the Honus Wagner so desirable. It's the story behind it of, how he didn't like smoking and he didn't want there. Were they ever actually distributed in packs? Did these come out of the factory? Where did they come from? And the McKinley, I think 1932 Caramel is one of the most important sets depicting presidents and world leaders ever, and really pioneered that. And to have a super short print chase card, if you will, in the 1930s is just a fascinating concept. And I value that card. I mean, I would like to get one at one point, so it's probably not good gamesmanship for me to share, but I've kind of assumed that ship has sailed. But, I think that card is that's so tremendously undervalued.
Yeah, there is no ceiling for that card. That's the rare, that's like something where
than a Wagner. It's like 10 times rarer than a Wagner.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, but the fact that it is so rare, it is so obscure, and like there's so much mystery around it means that a lot of people don't even know it exists. And
and I think that's the type of stuff that I love. And I think rare non-sport cards like that, stories like that, it's just delightful.
Yeah, exactly. Max, you have any thoughts on that card? I know you don't. You're not a huge political, non-sport person, but just like hearing that, did you know about that card?
I did not know about that card or that story, and just hearing that story for the first time, the uniqueness and the allure of it is evident in the storytelling itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the perfect example of what you're talking about, Mac, what you like to talk about. Like, the story adds value. And even though William McKinley, like, not a super significant president in terms of the grand scheme of things, like, imagine if that was an important president card, how much, like, would that be more valuable? But it is still, the story adds the value, which I think is